Thank you very much for joining us today. And it is a special pleasure. This is our annual Christmas hat show. And some of you from other years may remember my favorite hat. So welcome. And I'd like to introduce my co-host, Ken Bialo. Let's see your hat, Ken.
Ready?
Yes.
Ready? What? What? Tell me the batteries died. There we go. You better not cry, you better not shout, I'm telling you why. The Claus is coming to town.
I think that's probably enough.
Enough? All right.
A killjoy, aren't I?
You've just messed that up. Good evening, Marian. It's a lovely hat that you have there.
Well, thank you.
You're looking very holiday festive.
Well, it's starting to seem that way, isn't it?
It is.
So
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yes.
Well, welcome to Larchmont today, yet again.
Yes.
It's so nice to see you, and I will just remind people you were mayor and trustee,
Right.
and brought a lot of good to the village.
You bet.
And you wanted,
And so did you,
well,
as
mayor
chairman
trustee.
of the Red Republican Party.
Well, red's a fun color, I
It
must
is a
say.
fun color. Good holiday color.
So you had sort of a shout out.
Are we going to try and do this seriously, or are we just going to be silly with these hats?
Well, can't we be serious wearing a silly hat?
Yes.
Whatever you want. I don't
No, I'm just sort of trying to catch up here.
So you had a remark someone you want to thank.
Yes. Talking about George?
No, Joe.
Joe. Oh, I did have a remark. I
Yes,
completely forgot about that.
Exactly.
Joe Windish, a long time ago, maybe 1991 or 92, said...
Right, but he was the head.
Joe was the head at the time of
Right.
LMC-TV, and he reported to the board of LMC-TV, and then there was the board of control, which had representatives of each of the three municipalities and sort of oversaw the budget and other things. Anyway, Joe was the TV maven.
Yes.
And Joe said a long time ago, he said, never wear on LMC-TV or any television a shirt with tight stripes.
You mean like that shirt?
Yes.
Okay.
And he said, never wear a tie with small repeats,
Like that tie?
like this tie. So when I put this on this afternoon, I said to myself, Joe would be proud that I was paying absolutely no attention
you
to
were
the advice
contrarian.
and just doing what I wanted to do.
Ken will be Ken.
Whatever. Thank you, Joe. Hope he's watching.
Well, one of the things I'm really excited about is old people are making good. This is the Stones No Filter Tour that is coming in the U.S. tours in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And they have 13 stops. 2 are in Florida. And I
Yes.
think you had an explanation for that?
Yes. And with 13 stops, 2 are in Florida. Why? There are more old people per square inch in Florida than there are
They will
anywhere
pay
else.
a lot of money to see them. Anyway, I think that's awesome.
Yes, this is from our childhood, collective childhood.
Then you did want to talk about George.
I do want to talk about George, and I forgot I lost my train of thought there on Joe Windish. There's an article in today's paper, budget approved 2% tax hike for the county of Westchester. And I just want to say congratulations to George because... George Latimer, who is the county executive, because he had a bunch of settlement payments that had to be made to the CSEA, which is the largest union in the county, and he managed to keep the tax increase under the tax cap.
Wow.
At or under the tax cap. And one of the aspects of this particular budget has to do with leasing the parking lot at the county center in order to set up a stream of revenue and so on. And somebody on the staff of the Journal News, that rag that we call a newspaper, made some sort of offhanded comments and said, well, this is terrible and it's just another fiscal gimmick and you can't do that and so on. And George response, properly so, was it's still going to be a parking lot. We haven't given away anything. It's not going to be an apartment building. It's not going to be a sewer treatment plant. It's still going to be a parking lot. And as far as anybody thinking that budget gimmicks in the county of Westchester are something new, you can go all the way back to the 70s and find budget gimmicks all along the way. It's not a gimmick, it's a reality. It just happens to be moving something from the minus side to the plus side. So I think he did an amazing job, and I think we all owe him a big thanks. I hope he can keep it up, because that's really difficult. Westchester being the highest taxed county in the nation, right? So it's good to keep tax increases down.
Right. Well, and even like a week ago, the town was having a public meeting on hoping to get approval for raising their tax over the levy amount.
Yeah, over the tax cap.
Yeah, over the tax cap.
But isn't that interesting? Because the excuse, and this is true for all municipal officials who want to go over the tax cap, oh, we need to do this because otherwise we'll have to cut services, we'll have to do this, we'll have to do that. We talked about this the last show, and we talked about it when Governor Cuomo put this tax cap thing in, 8 years ago. And the point is, you need to have some discipline at the municipal level. It's really easy to get out of control and have 5% tax increases, 6% tax increases. You need to have some discipline. There are times when you have to make choices. I know it's terrible. Elected people would actually have to make a choice. Yes, you have to make a choice. And if you need to make the hard choices, that's what you get elected to do, is to make the hard choices on behalf of everybody else, not to just say, well, we can't make any choices, we just need to throw more money at it, throw more money at it, and throw more money at it. That's what I think the tax cap was aimed at doing, was making municipal officials accountable with a barometer. It's 2%. That's where, above that, you need to have a vote, and you need for the municipal officials to show whether they're in favor of going above the 2, because the next time they run, somebody will use that in the campaign discussion and say, well, these people weren't holding to the tax cap, and they were going at 4 or 5%. And I think the governor did a good job on that. There are a lot of things that I think the governor has done well. There are a lot of things that I think are terrible. But
well,
that's good, and George is there, and I'm just.
We're coming into another Cuomo comment.
Oh, are we?
Yes. It says here on November 28th that Cuomo rules out presidential bid in 2020. Now, isn't that a laugh?
Yes.
Of course he's running for president.
Yes. Why else would there be a headline that says he's not running for president?
That's the proof. Absolutely.
The proof. He didn't do so well in this election. The governor,
really?
Yeah, look, if you want to have a mandate and you want to show that the public is behind you, you got to be having high 60s, low 70% of the vote. He only had 59% of the vote, and he lost in 47 counties across this state.
Wow, I didn't realize
That's
47.
the only
That's a lot.
reason he won was, as you would expect, an overwhelmingly Democrat vote in the city of New York. And that made all the difference. That was the difference. That was the difference between his 3 million something vote total and Mark Molinaro, who got over 2 million votes.
I didn't realize it was that
Of course you didn't know that, because the press doesn't tell you this stuff. Over 2 million votes, and he won 47 of the 62 counties in New York. The governor won the New York, the 5 counties, 4 of the 5 counties in New York, and Westchester and Nassau, which is where the bulk of the population lives. I don't know, 9 million or 10 million people live down there. 10 out of the 18 million people live there. But the rest of the state, it was a disaster for the governor. So for him to be not announcing for president in 2020 is perfectly consistent with only having 15. He didn't have 60% of the vote. It's not a mandate endorsing him.
Right.
And for good reason, right? I mean, he did do some good things. He certainly has done some good things. But some of the things he's done are ridiculous, right? Like
slimy.
Slimy, like appointing the Moreland Commission to look into corruption, and 3 months after he appoints the Moreland Commission, when the Moreland Commission subpoenas the governor's office, he pulls down the Moreland Commission. Oh, we don't need them. We don't have any corruption. And then his best friend, his lifelong friend, Joe Percoco, who's got an office down the hall from the governor,
I believe.
arrested and convicted and sentenced to 7 years for corruption. And then the Buffalo billions, state projects in Buffalo, billions of dollars diverted, corruption. You scratch your head and say, well, now, okay, I don't know. But the thing that made me laugh the most, it wasn't his comment during the election campaign that America was never great. That wasn't the funniest thing he did. Here's the funniest thing he did. On Sunday, during the football games, the Sunday before the election in November, what was it, 9th or 7th or whatever that was.
I don't know.
Yeah, back in November, early November. We had an election. Did we have an election? Yes, we did. Okay. He did a TV ad during the football broadcasts that said we should vote for him because of his beliefs. His words, I wrote it down. I just couldn't believe it. His beliefs, his character, his heart. I don't know what that is. That's made of stone. That's made of, he's a politician, for God's sakes. And his just in case you missed it, his soul, his beliefs, his character, his heart, and his soul. And I thought that was about the funniest damn thing that anybody said during the campaign. I mean, Molinaro had no money. He wasn't, Cuomo had $30-something million. Molinaro had like $1.5 million or something. Never got his message out there. He's a very respectable guy, and he's certainly not in the image of Donald Trump. But Andrew Cuomo said that you vote for him because of his beliefs, his character, his heart, and his soul. Is that the funniest damn thing I ever saw? I mean, really? Just...
Oh, dear.
Look, I'm looking at my clippings. Ex-Cuomo aide convicted, Buffalo billions. Here's a headline from the Journal News, that awful rag. Don't know how to stop political corruption. Here's a big picture of the governor right here. We offer some tips. Right there, we offer some Yeah, one of the tips is reappoint the Moreland Commission, let them do their job and quit running away. Mr. Beliefs and character and heart and soul. Wow. Eeks.
Well, the next thing that came in my mail, I know you're going to love. This is from Westchester Power. Great news. The Village of Larchmont is continuing its participation in the Westchester Power program. And beginning in 2019, new rates and supply options. Commercial customers will see their rates cut by maybe 20%. Residents in the renewable supply have also had their rate lowered. That's because they were paying more.
Way more.
Yes.
Had their rate lowered. It doesn't say from what to what, and it doesn't say what it was lowered to as competitive with regular gas supply, right?
The standard supply residential rates are still lower than the 2015 Con Edison benchmarks.
This is 2018?
Yes.
So how is that bullet of any conceivable relevance?
Well,
it's lower than the prices were in 2015. Well, what the hell were the prices in 2015?
We can't cite 2016 and 2017.
Good night.
So anyway, the supply options. The default option is 100% renewable.
Which is the highest price you've ever seen.
Right.
Right.
And the standard option that I had to return a card to get, and this is new, it's fossil fuels, nuclear, and some renewable. Last time there was no renewable. It was renewable or non-renewable, and now they're sneaking in renewable here. So
did you opt out?
Yes, I put my opt-out in the mail today. And I know you need this information so you can opt out.
I do. But did I tell you my opt-out story for Con Ed?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is the smart meters. It's the meters. They want to hook up the meters to for your electric power to the extent, and they're the deliverers. Wherever you buy it from, Con Ed delivers it. They wanted to hook these meters up so that they can tell you, this is their argument. It's digital meter, and it can be read in real time And that information is available somewhere in the Con Ed organization. And they say, you want this because this will tell you when you use power. That would be a surprise. I have no idea when we use power. That is such news to me. And it will help you to control your use of power. How is that?
Why do I want to do that?
But how is that? How? Because you'll know that you're using the lights at night, so you won't use the lights at night. You'll light candles. And they have an opt-out for this. They have an opt-out so that the Public Service Commission has said you have to have people have to have the opportunity to choose not to use the meter. I don't want the meter, and I don't know anybody who does want the meter, because it really will report when you're home and when you're not. Right? High power usage, you're home. Low power usage or no power usage, you're not home. Do I want anybody outside of my house to know when we're home and when we're not home? Absolutely not.
Right.
And I certainly don't want people from Con Ed who say, but we're going to protect the privacy of your information. Really? No, what happened? The Pentagon, Marian, JP Morgan, American Express, nobody can protect the privacy of anybody's information. It's all hacked. Even you told me last time, Experian, was it Experian? One of the anti-hacking agencies was hacked. Credit rating agency was
Right.
hacked. I mean, this is nuts. So anyway, so my plan was to opt out, except that on Saturday when I wasn't home, a fellow came to the
And
door.
they probably knew it somehow.
I don't know. A fellow came to the door and he said, my son answered the door, and this fellow from Con Ed said, I'm here to change the meter. Your dad said it's okay. When I came home and found this little note from Con Ed saying we changed your meter, I said, what? Who said this was okay? He said, well, that's what the guy said. I said, so today I called them to opt out, and I just went a tad
Over the top.
A tad over the top. I said, you gotta be kidding me. You send guys at door, right? Kids, I'm the owner. My wife is the owner, right? Kids, you come onto the property to do something because you lied to the kid? Really? Really? Because they want to charge $104 to remove it. I told them the meter's got to go. I don't want this. So they said, well, we're charging $104. I said, no, you're not. I said, let's do small claims court. Let's do that right here in Larchmont. We'll go to small claims court. You charge me $104, and I will go to court to get it expunged from my bill. Either that, or you charge me $104, and I'm going to go to court to win the $104 from you, so that I am net zero. Either way, I don't care. So, but your guy lies at the door? Lies? It's nuts.
And you can call a witness with your case.
It's just nuts. The whole thing is nuts. So my advice to anybody who was asked about this, and there was some conversation on the weekend at various of the soirees, is to just not do this. You don't want somebody having information about when you're home and when you're not home. And I certainly don't want that. And they said, well, we'll charge you $9.50 every other month to come and read your meter. I said, knock yourself out. I mean, really, wow. Oh, that's, I can't tell you what our power bills are, but
You're not going to notice that one.
$9.50 is not going to be noticed. That's lost in the rounding. Anyway, so there's an opt-out form, and you can go to Con Ed. You can go to the website, and there's a form that you can print, or you can call them, or you can do both, which is what I did, in order to avoid. It's different than this.
Right.
This is the actual power that you're buying. Con Ed is the delivery service, and the meter reading. So there are two different things that they're fooling around with. But
both are being annoying.
well, this is for whatever this is worth. It certainly isn't worth it to have somebody know when you're home and not home.
No.
It makes no sense to me. But I think we're at halftime in the show.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, we have to
being
switch.
halftime,
Okay.
yes.
I forgot about that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. This is thanks to your dear wife.
Well,
right? That we have these hats.
I don't know if this is thanks or not thanks.
Well, it's
Silly
pretty
hat
unusual.
Night.
Well, you
Silly
look
hat night.
adorable.
Silly hat. So do you. Very cute.
Okay.
So what's next on our list?
Okay.
Oh, yes.
One of my favorites.
Yes.
So, the New York Times, for the first time I caught it, and they've done this several times since, on December 1st, said, "The truth never wavers. The truth requires commitment. The truth is worth it." Now, on that same day, they had a front page story, and remember, they're supposed to be the truth, and the title of it is "When a New Hire at Justice Shocked the FTC." Now,
The whole FTC.
isn't shocked really not a truth thing? That's a reaction, I think.
It's a judgment word.
It's a judgment word.
Yes.
So I don't think that's truth.
Now, who was the reporter?
By Charlie Savage, Adam Goldman, and Katie Benner.
So do you think they went around to the entire FTC to find out who was shocked and who wasn't? Shocked is not something that's sort of objectively visible. Do you think they asked all 5,000 employees of the FTC? Do you think they asked all 5 commissioners of the FTC? What's the second paragraph of the article say about who they asked? It was an email from an FTC, from an FTC employee to other FTC employees saying the author, read it, says the author was surprised about this. From this, they derive a headline that says, "With a new hire at Justice," I assume they're talking about the Attorney General designate or the temporary, the acting Attorney General, Whitaker, right?
Right.
Shocked. Shocked. The FTC.
Well, he said you're not going to believe this.
Yes, I understand. It was surprising.
That's different from shock.
Yeah, well,
shock is even worse.
Yes, well, but this is a surprise.
Yeah.
So the mission is to tell the truth.
Right.
What's true?
Someone wrote an email.
Yeah, exactly right.
Well, and you know what? I have another really good one.
good.
That was December 7th.
Oh, yeah.
And this says,
Pearl Harbor Day.
Yes.
Did anybody notice that? Where's the headline here that says, "Pearl Harbor Day, we celebrate the victory in World War II
And
over the
remember
Japanese
those who
and
lost their
remember those who
lives."
lost their
Yes.
lives on December 7, 1941.
Well, no, they were too busy with this headline. In America, illegally and employed by Trump. Now, if you actually read through this, Trump went through all the proper steps, not Trump himself, but his organization complied with all the requirements for employing people, and the American that was in illegally lied. So, can you believe it?
Well, the headline should be, "An American in America illegally and employed by Trump, a liar."
No, that makes Trump sound like a liar. It's got to be
That's where they'll be at. Yeah.
Yes, that would be theirs. But so, I mean, for heaven's sakes, this isn't at all.
Yes.
So
I need to remind you,
Yes.
because from time to time I like to do this here and on the radio as well.
listen, we just
Yes.
have a few minutes left, so this is perfect.
This is a good way to end then, don't
Yes,
you
it
think?
is,
We'll
yes.
talk about the election results next time because nobody has actually told anybody what the election results actually were. You can't find it in the newspapers. But here, this is a letter to our readers. This came to us from Arthur Sulzberger, the publisher, and Dean Baquet, who at that time was the executive editor. And it's from November of 2016. And it says, to our readers, when the biggest political story of the year reached a dramatic...
This is the New York Times.
This is the letter. The letter.
It was
New York
published
Times
in the New York
letterhead.
Times.
Yes.
Right.
I'm
I
not sure it
saw
was
it.
published in the Times.
Yes, it was. I saw it.
Okay. Well, it was delivered to our doorstep.
Okay.
Right? When the biggest political story of the year reached a dramatic and unexpected climax late Tuesday night, meaning we all thought Hillary was a shoo-in, and everybody thought Hillary was a shoo-in, except that it's only everybody. Let's see. It's only everybody in the blue zone,
It's hard to
which
see the
are
blues.
the two coasts. The rest of the country is way predominantly red. Everybody, meaning everybody they know,
Yes.
everybody they talk to, all of their cousins, right? Our newsroom turned on a dime. Oh, I'll bet it did. And
What
did what it
trouble?
has done
Let's
for
report
nearly
that.
2 years. Cover the 2016 election with agility and creativity. Next paragraph, skip paragraph down below. As we reflect on this week's momentous result and the months of reporting and polling that preceded it, we aim, key words here, to rededicate ourselves to the fundamental mission of Times, meaning New York Times, journalism. Now, what would that be? You just read two headlines from above the fold articles in 2018.
Right.
Right? What is the mission of New York Times journalism? Here it is. That is to report America and the world honestly. Without fear or favor, striving always to understand and reflect all political perspectives and life experiences in the stories that we bring to you. We aim to rededicate ourselves to report honestly. Those are the ellipsist version of that's two sentences. To report honestly without fear or favor. Tell me how honest is the reporting. Tell me again, what was this advertisement that they took out? They said, the truth never wavers. The truth requires commitment. The truth is worth it. Rededicated to the truth. How are these articles truth? This is only a tiny example, a teeny tiny example of above the fold garbage reporting by the newspaper of record in America.
Can we change that?
Yes, it's the newspaper that deserves a criminal record. How's that? That's a little extreme.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. Politics is a body contact sport, right?
Which is why so many people don't want to go into it.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
But honest reporting would be good. Rededicate
Well, that's
yourselves
what they
again.
get here, right?
Here's what we got. We find it and report it. Are we done?
Yes.
I can take this hat off?
Not till the end of the show.
Not till the end of the show.
So we want to thank everyone, the talent on the other side of the cameras, which is a true talent here.
A whole year's worth.
Yes. Right? And to all our listeners.
All three listeners?
No. There are like 10.
10, all right. All 10 listeners.
And,
hope you enjoyed the show.
What a creative hat.
Yes, very creative hat. And have a wonderful holiday season, right?
And Happy New Year. So thank you very much.
Okay.